Welcome back. Taking a look at our leading stories this hour. The N1 between Kranskop Toll Plaza in Limpopo, where a horrific multiple vehicle collision claimed 27 lives, has now been opened for traffic. The collision happened after a truck carrying bags of cement had a tire burst and collided with several vehicles. The Transport Department says that they are still investigating to find the identities of the deceased and their places of origin. Of the 27 dead, the high number were passengers and a driver from a 22-seater taxi.
Another horrific accident on the N1. This truck had a tire burst. The driver lost control and drove to oncoming traffic. This bus rammed into the truck and rolled to the side of the road. 24 passengers from the taxi were certified dead on the scene, amongst them 2 little children. Emergency personnel used jaws of life to retrieve the trapped bodies. This is the third horrific accident with high fatalities in a short space of time on this road.
This is a place where it is written high accident zone. I never expected an accident to happen where already we have demarcated an area as a high accident zone. We're now going to be calling the National Department of Transport, including Sanral, to come and assist us in Limpopo, because you can see that the manner this road is, we need a way in terms of the traffic that we receive, the traffic flow and the congestion, especially because one accident causes many loss of lives, and we think we need to engage with them in terms of how do we ensure we improve this road for the safety of our own people.
The road between Mokopane and Modimolle is still closed. Traffic has been diverted to the R101. The injured were rushed to Modimolle Hospital. Mike Maringa, SABC News, Makhuphula on the N1.
The provincial official funeral for Eastern Cape Education MEC Mandla Makupula is expected to be held at the Arbotsford Christian Church in East London today. Makhuphula died on Monday last week at an East London hospital after a long illness. He was the longest-serving education MEC in the province after serving from 2010 to the time of his death. He was also a member of the provincial legislature from 1999, and before that he served on several structures within the ANC. We now cross to our reporter Zimkhitha Manqinana in East London, who is, of course, at that funeral. A very good morning to you, Zimkhitha. It is over to you.
A very good morning, Pearl. Yes, we are at the Christian Center in Abbotsford, just outside East London, and this is where hundreds of mourners are expected to gather today as they pay their last respects to the longest-serving MEC of education here in the province of the Eastern Cape, Utata Mandla Makupula. He died just 2 days before his 58th birthday, and today he will be laid in into his final resting place. But now we're just going to speak to someone who worked very closely with him, and that is no one else but Utata Wahlubandile Kwase. A very good morning and a warm welcome to you on this very sad day. As you can see, the choir there is also singing some of those somber songs, trying to celebrate the life of Utata Mandla Makupula. Just tell us what is expected to take place throughout the day today.
Today is the official, provincial official funeral of the late MEC Mandla Makupula. What is expected today is that the proceedings are going to start exactly at 9 o'clock. We are currently waiting for the family to arrive together with the police band, and we'll start the program with the national anthem, and it will then proceed to the speakers, and later the chaplain will take over, and then we'll proceed to the cemetery at Mdantsane, where Mr. Makhuphula was born.
You did not only work with him as the MEC, you also studied with him at UNITRA in Tata. Just tell us about some of those memories that you still have.
Comrade Rima, as we used to call him, registered at the University of Transkei in 1984. And at that time, there were a lot of political activities, and the Matanzima regime clamped down on the SRC that was led by Batandwa Ndondo, Mbalu, Memani, and other comrades. they could not write the exams in 1984 because of those strikes, because they were arrested, some of them, and after that the university was closed down and they could not write. But he proceeded in 1985 with BSc, majoring in mathematics and physics. He was also very active in the struggle for liberation in the country through AZASO, the Azanian student organization at the time, which was later changed in 1986 to South African National Student Congress. And he was also involved in the non-racial sport through the South African Tertiary Institution Sport Council, which was called SATISCO at the time. And that was the platform that was used at the time to advance the struggle. As a result, in 1987, when we went to the conference of SANSCO in Pentec in Cape Town, we had already managed to cover all the colleges of the Transkei to set up the structures of the South African National Student Congress in those. And Comrade Rima was part and parcel of those struggles. Later on, he was also involved in the activities that led to the formation of the youth structures in the former Transkei, like Mthatha Youth Congress and later the Vukani Women's Organization, which we used to call VUO. He was also involved in the Save Patriots campaign when Comrade Maya P. and Comrade Nzamela were sentenced to death by the Transkei regime. He was also involved in those struggles and later on joined Youth League as an RSC member of the Transkei region before he became also active in the ANC, in the leadership of the ANC of the Transkei region, and later on in the leadership of ANC in Mthatha.
Before we wrap, just tell us about some of the things that he improved in the education department of the Eastern Cape.
The MEC joined the department on the 27th of November 2010. And at that time, there were a lot of challenges in the department. But what we can celebrate as his legacy is the transformation agenda that he developed, which is a 7-point plan, which was focusing on a range of things. That led to the reduction of the districts. We were at 23 districts. We now have 12 solid districts in the department. He also rolled out the ICT program to ensure that we encourage the use of ICT in terms of reaching out to rural schools, especially on scarce skills like maths and science. He also dealt with that. He has improved the results in the province. By now we stand at 65%, but the quality of those results, that's what is impressive. Because in 2017, we had about 19,000 of learners that passed with bachelors. But this year, that is 2016, it was 19,000. But by the time 2017, matric, it was 23,000 of those. So we've seen significant increase in the quality of the results through his leadership.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. Well, some of the things that Dr. Mandla Makupula will be remembered about is in the introduction of the feeding scheme in many rural schools in the Eastern Cape. He also introduced different types of meals that can be given to children when they go to school to avoid some of those pupils who were going to school on an empty stomach. Well, that's all we have time for now. It's back to you in Johannesburg.
And that was our reporter Zimkhitha Manqinana coming to us live from Eastern Cape at the funeral of the late Eastern Cape Education MEC Mandla Makupula. In other news,